What's up, y'all? This is Lou. So, right now, let's discuss another moment of worker empowerment. Um, so, when I was younger, I went to film school, and unless you have the connections to go directly into filmmaking, which I had one, but that didn't quite pan out for various reasons. I had one really good connection, could have turned into something big, but just the elements weren't in place to capitalize on it at the time. So you end up working industry jobs in usually TV or radio advertising. So I had a couple jobs like that. And this one place, uh, it's kind of an obsolete service now, technologically speaking, but they hired me. And eventually I became a staff writer once they found out that I wrote. So I sat in a room with three other writers. There were four of us total. One of them actually happened to be a close friend of mine who I got a job there. Um, so the office manager was a guy named Pete. I'll never forget him as long as I live because Pete was one of the best bosses I've ever had. He understood how to talk to people, how to communicate effectively, and how to manage the ship. How to keep everybody on the same energy. They had an audio studio there for sound recording, and he actually, when business was slow at all, he would let me do like an hour in the studio and learn the programs needed for audio mixing, which that was really cool. But the owner of the company, the CEO, the owner, he had one major function, which was to go out to conventions, to like travel around to different conventions and garner new clients. And he was good at that. Like, he had the gift of gab, but he also had the ability to convince people that this service was essential. Writers sometimes don't have this ability, especially people like me, because I have an unfortunate tendency to tell the truth. If it's not essential, I'm going to tell you it's not essential. So he decided that he didn't want to travel anymore. Uh, and from what I heard at the time, this was because his marriage with his wife was strained. And from what I heard from people, it had to do with him kind of being a narcissist. But being a narcissist, he's not going to blame himself. Instead, he blames the job. Well, I'm like this because I have so much demands on my time. So I'll stop traveling so much and stay home more, which that's exactly, I'm sure, what she wanted, a narcissist at home more. Um, Now, Pete was the kind of boss who, one time I was late finishing a script, and he came in like, we closed at 5. He came in the writer's room at 5:20 and flicked the light on me. And I was like, hey, what's up? And he goes, get out of here, you gotta go. And I was like, but I'm not done yet. I have 3 more scripts to write. And he goes, no, you're done because I'm leaving and you don't have a key. And even if you did have a key, I don't want you to stay. I want you to go home. And I was like, okay. And he said, listen, let me explain it to you. You're a writer, right? Yeah. You're supposed to be creative, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I promise you that whatever you're writing right now is garbage. You're rushing, you're in a hurry, it's the end of the day, and your mind is in a few different places. Whatever you're writing right now is not quality. And on top of that, you're going to have to rewrite it anyway because it's not quality. So go home. And what I remember what he said was, eat some ice cream, have sex with your girl, do whatever it is you need to do. Think about anything except that. And then when you come back tomorrow, you're refreshed, and you write some quality material. He said, if the client has any problem with you being a day late on your deadline, refer them to me. I'm the manager. I'll smooth it over. That's my job. And I was like, amazed. Okay. So I did. Now, on the other hand, the CEO, whose name I forget, the moment he decides to stop going on the road and to be around the office more, he's micromanaging. He's micromanaging everyone. He's overruling a lot of Pete's decisions. He's just kind of like gum stuck in our hair, Pete kept the office running like a well-oiled machine. This guy was like the monkey wrench thrown into the gears. So one day he comes into the writer's room and he goes, hey guys, so what we're going to do now is you're going to start upselling at the end of every call when you approve your scripts. You're going to You're gonna then tell the client that you want to talk to them about this new product we have. And the senior most writer was a woman named Karen. She goes, I'm not doing that. And he goes, yeah, we got to upsell because, we can, these are good new products and, we can get probably a good 20, 25, 30 more dollars out of the client. And she's like, I'm not a salesperson. This is not my job. If you want me to transfer them back to the salesperson that they were working with, we can do that. It's 2 buttons on the phone. I can tell them that their salesperson wants to talk to them before we get off the call, transfer them back, and now you put your salesperson to sell them stuff. I'm not a salesperson. I don't do this. Especially, and then she's like, especially because you've given them the impression that the sale is already closed. So if you're going to kind of renege on that and give them the impression they need to pay more money, I don't want to be the one to do that. She's like, I'm a writer. Are you going to pay me money to do 2 jobs, to be a writer and a salesperson? And he's like, well, no, I mean, it's just a feature of, like, you already got them on the phone. They're already happy with happy with the scripts, and then, like, we can upsell them. Right after that, my close friend that I got the job there quit. I was gonna try to stick it out of just loyalty to Pete, and I really liked Karen. She was cool, so I didn't want her to end up, in a bad spot with more workload. But then she told me she was looking for another position, and so I was like, oh, okay. So I did. Now, unfortunately, unlike the beer distributing company I work for, I can't say that this company changed their ways. But what I can say is that within a week of that incident, they lost their whole writing staff. The other writer, Mike, ended up quitting. Karen ended up quitting, and I ended up getting another position at another firm. So the CEO decided he wanted to get involved in the day-to-day running of the office and made things worse. The workers ran the office in a way that allowed for us to be streamlined and to get everything done efficiently. And his interference in that caused chaos. That made a huge impression on me as a young man in this workforce, in this capitalist country. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Just some food for thought on power dynamics in the workplace and worker empowerment. This has been Lou, on your left.